Did you know that it literally rains diamonds on Jupiter? How wealthy would we be if we could just stop over at Jupiter to pick up a few diamonds? But attempting to go to Jupiter would be a literal death wish. Of course, you know that Jupiter is the largest planet in the solar system, but what else do you know about Jupiter? Scientists have discovered some exciting new things about this ginormous planet. In this video, we are going to be looking at all the amazing things that science has revealed to us about this planet. Keep watching to find out more. Did you know that Jupiter orbits the Sun at a distance of around 483,682,810 miles, or 778,412,020 kilometers? This indicates it is 5.203 times farther away from the Sun than the normal distance between the Earth and the Sun. Jupiter's perihelion, or closest approach to the Sun, is 460,276,100 miles, or 740,742,600 kilometers distant. However, at aphelion, Jupiter's farthest distance from the Sun, the distance jumped to 507,089,500 miles, or 816,081,400 kilometers. That is way farther than Mars, which at its closest to the Earth, it would take 5 months to get to. So, no diamonds for anyone. Jupiter is not only enormous, it is riddled with mysteries that have piqued the interest of scientists since its discovery. As a result of many spacecrafts visiting this planet, we now have a far better understanding of the gigantic planet. Science has revealed a lot of fascinating things about this planet, and we cannot wait to share it with you. Keep watching to find out all we have for you. The amazing discoveries about Jupiter. Pictures of Jupiter were recently sent to the Earth, and we are in awe. As you know, Jupiter is the largest planet in the solar system, and it was named for the highest Roman god. This gas giant appears to be a mystery draped in colorful clouds and encumbered by fierce winds that rush beneath rings and moons. So let's go ahead to demystify it. Firstly, did you know that Jupiter rotates so fast that a day on the planet is only as long as 10 hours? Crazy, right? Your birthday would come in half the time it takes on Earth. Did you also know that Jupiter weighs more than twice the total weight of the rest of the solar system's planets combined? This means that Jupiter has a volume large enough to hold almost 1,300 Earths. Absolutely crazy, right? Scientists have claimed that there's a possibility that Jupiter was the first planet to be created. This is because it was created from the leftover gases from the Sun's formation. Scientists say that Jupiter would have been a star if it had been 80 times larger when it formed, but it is not, so they refer to it as a failed star. You have probably seen Jupiter before, but you didn't know that was what it was. Apart from it being the largest, it is also the third brightest thing in the solar system, with Venus and the Moon taking the first and second places. Jupiter can be seen without the need of a telescope. Simple binoculars can help you see Jupiter in great detail, but a telescope will provide a superior picture. You could even be able to see some of Jupiter's many moons. Is life possible on Jupiter? Of course. Just like us, you might be wondering if there is a chance of life on Jupiter. Well, according to scientists, if life could survive on Jupiter, it would have to exist at a height above the clouds, where the temperature would be around 70 degrees Fahrenheit or 21 degrees Celsius. Life can't survive below the clouds for numerous reasons. The first reason is the atmosphere on the planet. The atmosphere of the gigantic planet is similar to that of the Sun. This is hardly surprising given that some theories believe Jupiter was formed from the Sun's remnants. However, this implies a hydrogen and helium-dominated atmosphere. However, probing deeper into the planet reveals a partially disintegrated core. Also, Jupiter's magnetic field is the most powerful of all the planets. It is 20,000 times more powerful than the Earth's. This magnetic field is so powerful that it traps electrons and other charged particles, resulting in radiation that is lethal to humans. Jupiter, in fact, emits the most radio waves of any object in the solar system except from the Sun. The direct recipients of this powerful radiation are the moons, which we will discuss in more detail later. There is also the issue of the Great Red Spot. It is a massive storm that has been blowing like a hurricane for almost 350 years. Giovanni Cassini, an Italian astronomer, was the first to notice this storm in 1665. The edges of the storm spins counterclockwise at rates ranging from 270 to 425 miles per hour, or 430 to 680 kilometers per hour. It creates an anticyclone storm by rotating counterclockwise. Small amounts of sulfur and phosphorus and the ammonia crystals in Jupiter's clouds undoubtedly contribute to the hue, which can range from brick red to somewhat brown. However, the spot has been diminishing, though the rate has slowed in recent years. Even if the Great Red Spot should disappear, Jupiter would still have several additional storms. Jupiter's massive polar cyclones are fueled by convection or heat rising from lower altitudes to the higher atmosphere, according to findings from the Juno spacecraft this year. So there is no way that life can possibly survive on this planet. However, according to studies, Jupiter contains enough water in one of its moons to support life. This moon could have a radiation-shielded hidden ocean on the moon, with aquatic life drifting around. If this is true, then we may one day uncover proof of life on the planet. Then let us look at these moons and how they affect Jupiter. Jupiter's moons. Like we said, Jupiter's moons are a worthy mention. This planet has the highest number of moons in the solar system with 79 confirmed moons. However, we'll only discuss the big four: Io, Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto. They were discovered by Galileo Galilei, whichever is why they're sometimes referred to as the Galilean moons. Ganymede, Jupiter's biggest moon, is the largest in the solar system. This colossal moon dwarfs both Pluto and Mercury in size. It is the only moon that has been discovered to have its own magnetic field. Last year, the Juno mission recorded the eerie sounds of the magnetic field. That's not all there is to Ganymede. Scientists say that between the layers of ice on this planet-sized moon, there is at least one ocean. However, research suggests that the moon may have many layers of ice and water layered on top of one another, as well as the atmospheric water vapor discovered last year. We are expecting more information on Ganymede because the European Jupiter Icy Moons Explorer, or JUICE mission, will study it. The rocket will launch in 2023 and arrive in Jupiter's system in 2030. Io is another Jupiter moon worth looking into. The most volcanically active body in our solar system is this moon. The tremendous gravity of Jupiter generates tides in Io's solid surface that rise 300 feet or 10 meters high and generate enough heat to keep the volcanism going. These volcanoes spew more than a ton of material into space around the moon every second, assisting in the creation of weird radio waves emerging from Jupiter. Jupiter's rings. Another great feature of this great big planet is its rings. NASA's Voyager 1 confirmed that the planet has 3 rings, while other planets such as Saturn and Neptune have more noticeable rings. Jupiter has its own, which are made up of dust particles from its moons. The main ring is approximately 20 miles or 30 kilometers thick, more than 4,000 miles or 6,400 kilometers in width. Strong east-west winds in Jupiter's upper atmosphere are responsible for the vivid light and dark rings that may be seen. They go at a mind-boggling speed of more than 335 miles per hour or 539 kilometers an hour. Crystals of frozen ammonia have been discovered in the white clouds found in the lighter zones. The darker zones, however, contain compounds that can only be seen as blue clouds. One of the most remarkable aspects of these bands is that they are constantly changing. How does Jupiter's existence affect other planets in the solar system? Let us now look at how Jupiter has impacted on the solar system. The planet has been blamed for pushing the planets, especially Neptune and Uranus, farther from the Sun due to its tremendous gravity. This is related to the Nice model theory, which posits that Jupiter and other gas giants are to blame for a process known as the late heavy bombardment. It was a period wherein the Earth and other surrounding planets were pummeled with debris. However, today Jupiter acts primarily as a protecting force for our planet. Jupiter acts as the solar system's vacuum cleaner, preventing asteroids and comets from colliding with Earth and protecting the inner planets. Smaller items can be sucked in and absorbed by the immense gravity it generates. Jupiter's gravity can also propel debris beyond the solar system, but it can also accelerate some of those objects towards the inner planets. In the end, it's a blessing in disguise. The wonders of this planet do not seem to end as scientists continue to find exciting things about this planet. We have told you about all the amazing new things that scientists discovered about this planet, but there is more to learn about this planet. What do you think about Jupiter? What did you find most fascinating about this planet? Let's hear your thoughts. Be sure to check out this video over here.